The 1990 champion in this division, hailing from Uncasville, Connecticut, driving car number 27, the A Security Concrete Express at Vinny's Pizza Haven entry, it's David Gaeta. Alongside will be car number 1, a six-time past champion. Almost 90 wins to his credit here at the Speedway. Hailing from Norwich, Connecticut, driving the Rojo Truckee, Lepkowski Construction, Bunnell Auto Body sponsored Cavalier, it's Bob Potter. Starting 15th on the grid, driving car number 54. We're not sure whether it's Teddy Christopher or John Anderson driving the North End Autopod statewide recovery entry. We'll check and pass that word along. Starting alongside of 54 will be car number 33. The Hair Unique TLB Ideal Tire Sucacia Hair Product sponsored number 33. It's Mark Lajeunesse. Starting 17th on the grid, driving car number 47 out of Westerly, Rhode Island. The Scott's Tire and Service, M&J Murphy sponsored entry for Scott for the open wheel ground pound. His first time under the lights. Pick out your favorite. We're about to send them on their merry way. High, wide, and handsome, pedal to the metal. Burt Marvin leads the field up into turn number 1. Quick pace through the turns. They settle down off turn number 2. Burt Marvin, your leader. Car number 5, Dennis Gator runs in the number 2 spot. Tommy Jensen runs third as he gets a little bit of tire in the back bumper with Jimmy Dolan getting just a bit too close. Bob Potter working his way nicely through traffic with car number 1, looking for some racing room. He's just a little ahead of the middle of the pack. Problems in the back of the pack. They quiet down as Scott Spaulding a little sideways with car number 47. 3 laps and counting. The 4 car off the pace. Paul Inglis about to head to the infield. Meanwhile, back up front, Burt Marvin continues with a brisk pace. The drivers running a very heady race tonight. It's a bit cool. Looks as though they're going to wait for the tires to warm up before going for the gusto. This time by, they'll click off the 5th circuit of this 30-lapper. It remains Burt Marvin, Dennis Gaeta, Tommy Jensen, Jimmy Dolan, Ricky Knapp, Ricky Young in that order. Then it's Marshall White, Jerry Pearl, Chris Jones, Bob Potter, David Gator, and Mark Lajeunesse. Teddy Christopher on the move with car number 54, works to the inside. Keep in mind, he had no practice whatsoever. The car was qualified by John Anderson, the seat now occupied by Teddy Christopher. B.C. Wood to the infield with car number 03. He pulls from the competition as we remain under green. This time by, the click off the 8th circuit of this 30-lap feature event. As Burt Marvin, Dennis Gaeta, Tommy Jensen, and Jimmy Dolan continue to run in that order. Smoke from the left side of Ricky Knapp's number 7. We're not sure if it's tire smoke, brake smoke, or whatever, but we do see a small puff every now and again. Looks as though it may be a bit of tire smoke as Moose Hewitt and Marshall White come together on the front stretch. Marshall White down on the apron, unable to get the number 45 to refire, bringing out the first caution of the event. Teddy Christopher, definitely the man on the move. He came from the back of the pack, running one behind the other at the present time. A lot of action up front. The driver's not wanting to waste any time. Apply the power. Through the turns, side by side, the action continues. Jerry Pearl on the outside of Moose Hewitt. Hewitt running in that number 6 position. Shuts the door and allows Potter to the inside of Pearl. Things change in a hurry at this speed. Bob Potter, definitely the man on the move at the present time. Potter up to 7th and charging. Mark Lajeunesse now challenging Jerry Pearl for the spot. Teddy Christopher on the back bumper of Lajeunesse. Problem, Jerry Pearl and Mark Lajeunesse slide up into turn number 1. Tommy Jensen in row 2. As you can see, they tighten up, everybody looking for the advantage on the backstretch. High, wide, and handsome. They wind him up off the 4th turn as we return to green flag action. Dennis Gator on the outside as Burt Marvin explodes the motor. Problems up in turn number 1. The 07 car goes up in a puff of smoke. They wind him up once again. Green is back out. 2 laps shy of the halfway mark as Dennis Gator closes the door on Jimmy Dolan. That opened the door for Tommy Jensen's 79 car as they bump and go in the back of the pack. Some of the heavy hitters jumping on the brakes momentarily. Everybody settles down and we're back under green. Halfway marker due out this time by. It'll be 15 down, 15 to go once they cross the stripe. Dennis Gator, the Bob Lisi owned number 5 out front. Jimmy Dolan, Ricky Young, Tommy Jensen, then Teddy Christopher. That's how they stack up in the top 5 positions. Bob Potter is 6th, and is Tommy Jensen. David Gator, the 12 of Lamphere, and the 43 of Pearl. Top 10 cars run nose to tail. 17 laps shown as complete. Lap number 18 will be history this time by, as Teddy Christopher continues with his assault to the front of the field as he grabs off the 4th spot from Moose Hewitt. Bob Potter now challenging for position number 5. Hewitt on the outside, Potter on the inside. Dennis Gator, your leader. He's been there since Burt Marvin lost the motor back about 6 or 7 laps ago. Ricky Young in 3rd, directly in front of last week's winner, Teddy Christopher. Christopher also our defending track champion, looking to close in on the top 3 with time definitely running out. 21 completed. Less than 3 miles of racing remaining. Top 10 cars continue to run nose to tail. Everybody looking for racing room. Time definitely on the side of the leader. Problems in the back of the pack. David Gator jumps out of line and catches Larry Lamphere. Jerry Pearl able to sneak on by, grabs off yet another spot. Bob Potter now closing in on Ricky Young. Teddy Christopher up to 3rd. Potter was alongside. With 5 to go, this one's a long way from being over. Dennis Gator, the 69 of Dolan, the 54 of Christopher, the 0 of Young, and the number 1 of Potter. That's the top 5. Time definitely running out. If anybody's got anything extra, they're going to have to show it, and show it quickly. Christopher on the inside of Jimmy Dolan. He's looking for 2nd on the back straightaway. Christopher dives in deep into turn number 3. He's alongside of Dolan and has the spot off that 4th turn. He opens the door, allows Ricky Young on by. Here comes Bob Potter to boot. It's going to be a shootout till the checkered flag.
2 to go, marker out this time by is Teddy Christopher right on Dennis Gator's back bumper. We've got trouble on the backstretch. Looks as though the 12 of Larry Lamphere.
Christopher in that front row. Who's going to get the edge? Is it going to be the inside lane, the outside lane? We're going to have to wait as things begin to wind down. Yellow flag comes out. Teddy Christopher on the outside had the edge. And the let's see what happens off that 4th turn, and Christopher has the edge as he blasts out around, is sideways up into turn number 1. as half the field comes together as Teddy Christopher making contact with the leader, David Gaeta. And we've got Ricky Young on the inside, Bob Potter on the outside, Tommy Jensen and David Gaeta in row 2. Jerry Pearl on the inside of row 3. They tighten him up. About to cut him loose. They wind him up as the green flag comes back out. Ricky Young and Potter drag race up into turn number 1. Young comes out on top, but Pearl make that Potter in hot pursuit with car number 1.
Two to go marker out this time by final 2 times around the 1/3 mile oval. Ricky Young has Bob Potter in tow. Tom Jensen running in that 3rd spot. That's the 27 of David Gaeta and the 43 of Jerry Pearl. That's how the top 5 shape up with 1 lap remaining. The field works their way down the backstretch into turn number 3 for the final time. Quarterway with a checker flag in hand is the flying 0 of Ricky Young. Picks up the win. Sailing for the 2nd spot, Bob Potter of Norwich, driving the Benell Auto Body, sponsor number 1. Finishing in the 3rd spot, car number 79 for Tom Jensen of Southington. David.
Picks up his first win of the year. The 1991 track champion, coming back after utter disaster last Sunday afternoon, comes back in a fantastic finish to pick up the modified feature win tonight. Well, modified feature event. Ricky Young out of Canterbury, Connecticut, does it the hard way. As he watched all the action up front, played the waiting game, and picks up his first win of the year. Sunday, well, you're in the limelight tonight. It's got to be quite a feeling.
Oh yeah, you know, I lost the motor last week. That was a good motor, but hey, that's tough luck, you know, and I was lucky tonight. I stayed out of the crashes, you know.
Well, you waited, and it all paid dividends. I think you're going to have to do that more often.
Oh yeah, you know, I've never fell into a win like this before, so it's my first time, so I'm lucky.
Well, you know, you've lost a few that same very way, so it's got to feel good. You picked one up. Maybe the odds are going to come and swing in your favor for a change.
I hope so. I need some luck, you know. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, Maria, Michael's Pool, and Cassidy and Sons, and Al Cool for lettering my car.
Well, once again, Ricky, congratulations. One heck of a run. A nice way to start off the 1993 season.